Steelers Nation, buckle up, because the Pittsburgh Steelers just sent a message to the entire NFL. They're done playing it safe. This offseason, it's not just aggressive, it's historic. Pittsburgh has thrown caution to the wind and gone all in with one clear goal: Lombardi or bust. Let's talk names: Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, Metcalf, Jonnu Smith. These aren't just solid additions. These are headline-grabbing, franchise-shifting stars, and they're all wearing black and gold now. Let that sink in. Aaron Rodgers, a four-time MVP, a Super Bowl champion, and one of the most polarizing QBs in league history, now leads the Steelers' offense. For years, fans have begged for a true elite quarterback under center. Now they have one. But with Rodgers comes pressure, expectation, and a ticking clock. He's not 25 anymore. He's 41. The time to win is now. On the other side of the ball, Jalen Ramsey, a lockdown corner, a vocal leader, and a proven champion. He joins a secondary that already features Minkah Fitzpatrick and Joey Porter Jr., forming what could be the most dangerous defensive backfield in the AFC. And then there's Metcalf, one of the most explosive wide receivers in the game. His size, speed, and physicality changed the identity of this offense overnight. Pair him with George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, and suddenly, Rodgers has a full arsenal to attack any defense. Jonnu Smith, the under-the-radar signing, brings versatility to the tight end room. He's not just a blocker, he's a playmaker. And in Arthur Smith's offensive scheme, he could be a game-changer in two tight end sets. But this isn't just about talent, it's about attitude. It's about a philosophy shift. For years, Pittsburgh was known as a franchise that built slowly, developed internally, and rarely made splashy moves. But under GM Omar Khan and head coach Mike Tomlin, that era may be over. This offseason feels like a line in the sand. Either we chase greatness now, or we risk falling behind forever. The AFC is loaded. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Lamar, they're all hungry. And Pittsburgh just roared back into the conversation. Of course, going all in comes with risk. Rodgers is coming off injury, Ramsey is aging, chemistry can't be forced overnight, and the spotlight will be blinding. But this is Pittsburgh. This is a city built on grit, legacy, and rings. Playing it safe was never the Steeler way. Not really.
Now that the dust has settled and the Steelers have officially made the biggest splash of the 2025 offseason, it's time to look under the hood and ask the real question: how does this all fit together on the field? Because bold moves are one thing. Making them work, that's where championships are won or lost. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers. His arrival completely alters the offensive philosophy in Pittsburgh. Under Kenny Pickett, the playbook leaned conservative, built around the run game and quick throws. Rodgers brings a completely different dynamic: deep ball precision, pre-snap mastery, and the ability to dissect defenses on the fly. But to maximize Rodgers, the Steelers need to protect him, and that means everything starts up front. The offensive line, anchored by Broderick Jones and Isaac Seumalo, must elevate its game. Rodgers isn't the most mobile quarterback anymore. He needs time to operate, especially if Pittsburgh wants to unleash the full power of Metcalf downfield. Expect more shotgun formations, tempo changes, and a heavier dose of play action. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith will have to tailor his system around a Hall of Famer, something he's never done before. Speaking of Metcalf, his fit is fascinating. He's not just a burner, he's a physically dominant receiver who demands double coverage. That's a game changer for George Pickens, who now becomes an elite wide receiver too with one-on-one matchups. Defenses won't be able to stack the box anymore, which opens up rushing lanes for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. The ripple effect of Metcalf's presence can't be overstated. Jonnu Smith's addition adds layers to this offense. He can line up in the slot, as an H-back, or even in the backfield. His familiarity with Arthur Smith's system means he could be the glue guy that helps Rodgers acclimate quickly. Imagine a two tight end set with Smith and Pat Freiermuth. That's a matchup nightmare, especially in the red zone. Defensively, Jalen Ramsey brings swagger, leadership, and scheme versatility. He's not just a man-to-man corner. He can play zone, blitz off the edge, or match up with tight ends and physical receivers. That frees up Minkah Fitzpatrick to roam more aggressively, creating more turnover opportunities. Combine that with Joey Porter Jr.'s growth, and you've got a secondary that can challenge any passing attack in the league. But the most underrated part of this defensive transformation? Ramsey's presence could extend TJ Watt's prime. With tighter coverage downfield, quarterbacks will have to hold the ball longer, giving Watt and Alex Highsmith more time to get home. That's how sacks turn into game-changing plays. Now, let's talk reaction. The fan base is buzzing and divided. Some love the boldness, seeing it as a long overdue swing for the fences. Others worry that Pittsburgh is sacrificing its identity for short-term hype. There are valid concerns. Chemistry, age, and durability are all on the table. Rodgers hasn't played a full season since 2021. Ramsey's missed games. Even Metcalf has battled through nagging injuries. But here's the thing. Championship teams aren't built on safe bets. They're built on risk, vision, and leadership, and that's what this offseason screams. The front office clearly believes this roster is one or two pieces away, and they've put their chips in. So where does that leave the Steelers heading into training camp? With sky-high expectations and zero margin for error. Tomlin will need to manage egos, establish culture quickly, and demand accountability from day one.
Let's be clear. What the Steelers just did isn't normal. This isn't how Pittsburgh usually operates. For decades, this franchise built from within. They drafted, they developed, they rarely made headline-grabbing moves in March or July. But that's over. Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin just ripped up the old blueprint and replaced it with the win now mandate. And honestly, it's about time. This channel has spent the last few years calling for urgency. While AFC rivals stacked talent and chased greatness, the Steelers hovered in purgatory. Not good enough to contend, not bad enough to rebuild. Stuck in the middle. That ends now. This roster is loaded with names that demand results. Rodgers, Metcalf, Ramsey, Watt, Fitzpatrick. If you can't win with this group, the problem isn't talent, it's execution. We've seen what happens when teams go all in. Sometimes it works, like the Rams in 2021. Sometimes it doesn't, like the Broncos with Russell Wilson. The margin for success is razor thin. One injury, one coaching misstep, one bad locker room vibe, and the whole thing implodes. But guess what? Playing it safe hasn't worked either. This team has star power on both sides of the ball. It has leadership. It has a quarterback with a Super Bowl ring and a chip on his shoulder. It has a defense with Hall of Fame talent. There are no more excuses. Mike Tomlin has never had a roster like this. And for the first time in years, he won't be judged just by how hard his team plays. He'll be judged by how far they go. AFC Championship? Expected. Super Bowl appearance? Demanded. Anything less? It's a failure. That's the standard now, and it's the right one. This city doesn't hang banners for divisional titles. This franchise counts rings, and right now, the clock is ticking. So what do we think here at Steelers Nation Wire? We love the aggression. We love the message. We're fired up, but we're not naive. This move puts the Steelers under a microscope like never before. Every snap, every play, every press conference will be dissected. And that's the price you pay when you chase greatness. But let's be real, it's worth it. Because this team, if it clicks, if it stays healthy, if Rodgers finds his rhythm, it can win the whole thing. So now we turn it to you, Steelers Nation. Are you ready for this ride? Do you believe this roster can bring Lombardi back to Pittsburgh? Or do you see red flags in this all-in approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video if you're all in too, and hit that subscribe button because this season is gonna be wild, and we'll be here for every twist, every snap, and every controversy.